Josh Jackson is a versatile two-way forward, and in this video we're going to focus on his offensive game. If you'd like a more Lakers-specific take, head over to LakerFilmRoom.com for the accompanying article. I've included a link in the description. Jackson's most effective attribute in the half court is his ball handling ability, where he's able to use simple but effective crossovers to get open. He's often either too quick for a big or too big for a perimeter player. He's equally capable of driving either left or right, but he's not as good of a finisher when he drives left because he almost always comes back to his right hand. But despite having greater difficulty finishing when he drives left, he's a great passer in these situations, able to draw a second defender, keep his eyes up and hit the big, or kick out to a shooter. Jackson primarily plays the 4 for Kansas, and they like to get him the ball on dribble weave action or on pick and pops. When Jackson's drives to the right get cut off, he's usually going to shoot a pull-up without a great deal of success. When he drives to the left and gets cut off, he's usually going to use a step-back move. He does a nice job of creating space for himself and is better at these than the pull-ups, but sometimes he releases it a little too late. I've charted 59 of the 71 three-point attempts that Jackson has taken this year, and there's a huge difference between when he's open and when he's contested. There are certainly concerns about his three-point shooting, and we'll get into that in a second, but you can't just leave him open either. But as soon as he gets a little bit contested, those percentages drop drastically. Now mind you, most people shoot worse on contested threes than open threes, but his percentages drop more than most. While I don't pretend to be a shooting coach, I do think that this freeze frame provides some insight. As he gets into his shooting stroke, the ball is a lot farther away from his body than it is with most guys. This would explain to some degree why he needs more space to feel comfortable. Let's watch his stroke again, slowed down 10 times. The process of pulling the ball back in creates negative motion, moving the ball away from the basket. It's not a big deal when he's wide open, but it can be disrupted when he's contested. He does well to attack closeouts using pump fakes and rip-throughs, which are good fundamentals. I've already seen some of what he brings to the table as a passer, but I wanted to zero in on it a bit. He's a phenomenal post-entry passer, especially on high-low situations. Very good outlet passer as well. This one's ridiculous. My one criticism of him here is that he sometimes overpasses when he should be taking shots. He has excellent instincts as a cutter as well, often sneaking behind the defense for a backdoor lob. Both this and his abilities as a passer demonstrate a high degree of spatial intelligence. And obviously he's a great athlete as well, which is a tremendous combination. Jackson is excellent in transition, but doesn't get as many opportunities as you might expect. A big reason for this is that he generally plays power forward, meaning that he's getting rebounds and trailing the play, rather than filling wings. I suspect that he'll primarily play small forward in the NBA, and he'll get a lot more of these wing opportunities. Jackson has a good motor as an offensive rebounder, where his weak side cutting abilities come in handy. Kansas will sometimes put him in the post when he's got a size mismatch, but he really only has one move, which is a right-handed jump hook. Lastly, one of the hardest things to demonstrate on a video is frequency, and Josh Jackson has a few areas where he doesn't do things very often. There were very few to no possessions at all of him using triple threat footwork or coming off of screens. There were also only a couple of clips with him as the pick and roll ball handler. I've seen several projections of him as a shooting guard in the NBA, but he doesn't have much experience doing the things that shooting guards do. But on the positive side of things, in terms of the difficulty of demonstrating frequency, one thing that really stood out to me is how few bad plays that he makes. That's not to say that he never turns the ball over or never makes a dumb play, but for his age and for his responsibilities, he's a very smart player. I usually dislike making player comparisons, but Jackson reminds me a lot of Andre Iguodala or Kawhi Leonard coming out of college. Both of them were tremendous athletes with high IQs and high motors, which is a great combination. But the difference between them offensively is that Kawhi eventually developed his outside shooting abilities as well as his triple threat moves, and Andre Iguodala never really did. Those areas, as well as his abilities as a ball handler in the pick and roll, will largely determine Jackson's offensive ceiling. Alright, that'll do it for this one. Next up, his defensive video.